Glad you could join us. My name is Eric Collins, my partner Danielle Laurie, and what a game we had earlier today. An absolute doozy, a walk-off win for Team Biancastelli. One swing of the bat, a 3-run home run by Kaylee Clifton to win it in the bottom of the 7th. We can only hope for more of the same. And Danielle, it's just one of the things that's making people around the world discover what a cool thing we have here with Athletes Unlimited.
Amen to that, and to the walk-off bomb last game. So many feels, I had goosebumps, and anyone that's watching falls in love with this game with moments like that. And then I fast forward to this game and I look at Kat Osterman and what she has been to this league, but most importantly what she's been to her team. She's yet to be beaten, not starting today. Good chance you will see her, but who will be the first team to try to beat Kat Osterman? We will see. A
perfect 7-0 here in this format in Rosemont, Illinois.
On behalf of the Clemente family, I'm Roberto Clemente Jr. Happy to be here to throw out the first pitch for this great inaugural season for Athletes Unlimited.
It's been a special week around the world of stick and ball sports. A league-wide MLB Roberto Clemente Day this past Wednesday that was observed by everyone. Just a special way to recognize a wonderful talent and a wonderful human being, Roberto Clemente.
For sure, and what a follow-through. I mean, looking at that underhand, he looks like he put a little practice into it, and I'm always curious with the first pitch, are they like nervous trying to do it? Or are they getting a flashcard with basic mechanics? I don't know.
It's in the genes with Roberto Clemente Jr. All right, in the circle, second start in as many days, former Florida State All-American Jessica Burrows.
And Burrows started yesterday, had a good couple innings to start and then got roughed up a little bit, and I think that it was just some missed spots. I mean, she's 0-2 this season, 14 innings pitched, but I think the importance is to just be able to come in and find that strike zone, and you can't miss over the heart of the plate. It's been happening a little bit too much with these pitchers, and they've been getting roughed up because of it.
The eyes of Georgia will be upon us. Both starting pitchers, Jessica Burrows and Kelly Barnhill, are Georgia natives. Both Georgia natives who got away to the state of Florida to play as collegians. Burrows went to Florida State, Barnhill went to Florida. All right, we're underway. First pitch, ball 1 to Victoria Hayward. Hayward hitting .391. She's been a part of a lot of winning so far through 3 weeks of Athletes Unlimited softball. Next hit she gets will be her 10th. Big number. Burrows misses inside, 3-0. Players make their own decisions at this league, so maybe a chance to swing 3-0 for Hayward. Taking all the way, and it misses downstairs. And it's a 4-pitch walk to begin the ball game. Now, we told you about Burrows in the circle. She'll be throwing to Amanda Chitister. In the infield, left to right, Stewart and Sanders, Myers and Fisher, Becker, Jackson, and Andrews. Kylan Becker may still be winded. She had 8 putouts in left field in yesterday's game. A new Athletes Unlimited record. Laying down the bunt and a beauty. Leach beats it out. Aubrey Leach is aboard. Runners at first and at second. Nobody out.
When most would think that this is a sack situation, you see the corners, but Leach so sneaky, and Chitister behind the dish, and I have not seen her catching a lot, and it's having a fielder position, and it's the best she could do with her momentum to try to get that throw, but Leach, way too much speed.
Here's Jessie Warren. .480 batting average for Warren. Former Women's College World Series Most Outstanding Player. Won a title at Florida State. .12 for 25 with 7 runs batted in. 7th in the points list here with Athletes Unlimited. 7th out of 56 athletes. Tomahawked underneath the glove of Stewart. Little Olay right there. That'll score the game's first run. Hayward scores, and it's a 1-0 lead for Team Osterman. That was an absolute howitzer shot.
Jesse Warren is just so good, and Burroughs trying to go upstairs, but Warren just gets on time with it, and just a smoke show past Stewart at third.
It scored a single and an RBI for Warren. So the first 3 batters have all reached safely, and a run is already in. Welcome to the game, Jessica Burroughs. Here's Gwen Spekas.
It's never easy when you start a game and you walk the lead off, because then you automatically kind of give them a little bit more momentum than you want. And then with Leach, her ability to be as quick as she is with the pressure on the defense.
And a delayed steal. How about Leach? She moves over to third on the return throw from the catcher to the pitcher. That doesn't happen very often.
And it's also recognizing the fact that Chitister is new behind the dish. She is a catcher and has caught, but not much in this league. And it's knowing that.
Little half swing. Spekas stays alive. Well, everything you do with Athletes Unlimited, there's a point attached to it, and there's 10 points for steals. So Aubrey Leach with a bunt single that went 10 feet in front of home plate got 10 points, and with the delayed steal at third got another 10 points. So 20-point first inning for her. Spekas popped up. It's going to be playable right behind the plate. Chitister, and did the runner tag from first? Warren goes down to second base. I didn't see her tag. She must have. That was unusual.
She knew as soon as this went up to go back.
Okay, yeah.
But I think it's just trying to create pressure, right? You see her run, kind of stop a little bit. And seeing that you've already made Chitister uncomfortable a little bit behind the plate on some things, I think why not?
That's a wonderful look. You can see Warren still on first, and then chooses to go after the catch is made.
And the beauty of this league is that it's constantly changing, right? Every week, it's new team. Communication has to be there, but also to test the defense. I mean, why not?
Mauga deep to left field. Going back, looking up, it's gone! A 3-run homer! Katiyana Mauga! It continues. A home run in every game in Athletes Unlimited softball. We're 16 for 16.
Wow. And she knows it. Burroughs goes down, kind of swipe at the dirt, just knowing that's a missed spot. You see Chitty kind of put her hand on her helmet. That's the thing. You cannot get beat with pitches over the heart of the plate. And, you know, people may think that I'm tough on pitchers because of that, but I mean, the one thing you can control in the circle is where you throw the ball. And if you move the ball over the heart of the plate, the hitting in this league is going to expose you very quick.
Still just 1 out. Shelby Pendley next in line. Now 3 runs cross, 1 swing of the bat, courtesy of Katiyana Mauga. With Mauga rounding the bases, Aspiration Bank just committed to plant another 100 trees to drive environmental change. Somehow, Pendley has not been a part of the home run party. Shelby Pendley, one of the best power hitters in the world today, does not have a homer through the first 7 games she's played here with Athletes Unlimited. Batting average of .238 for Pendley, 5 hits and 21 at bats. First game we saw today on this field was an 8-7 final score with a combined 6 home runs. Just past the diving Theresa Myers. 1 out base hit for Pendley. Yeah, this is softball reimagined. No set rosters, 56 players divided 4 different ways each week of the year. New teams every single week. Points are allotted for individual performances, everything that you do, a singles 10, a doubles 20. You get points for winning innings, winning a game. At the end of the game, MVPs are allotted. If you're the number 1 MVP, you get the most votes, you get 60 points. If you're MVP 2, you get 40. If you're MVP 3, you get 20. Sammy Fagan is drilled right between the shoulder blades. So Burroughs is looking for a hole to burrow into. She has given up 4 runs, still only recorded 1 out, and runners on at first and at second.
I'm just struggling a little bit location-wise. I was hoping by week 3 these pitchers would kind of start to figure it out a little bit more.
That player conference presented by Mariner Wealth Advisors. Now still a lot of game remaining. 2 on, 1 out. Mandy Perez, a homer yesterday. First hit in this league. Called strike 1.
And I don't want to use this as an excuse, but these women have not played competitively in over a year. So I think sometimes when you're in this environment, it takes a little bit to get used to, obviously, the ever-changing battery behind the dish, pitches that you're comfortable with. And at the end of the day, we don't have coaches here. So you're held more accountable as a pitcher in regards to being able to make adjustments with your body. If something isn't working, you should be great enough to make that adjustment and not need a coach.
Ball and 2 strikes to Perez. 45th in the league in points. There are 56 players. Humpback liner, foul, right side. Just been remarkable through 3 weeks of activity. Team Osterman, there's Kat. She's not even put herself in the game to begin this game, but she's involved, coaching first. Everything she touches turns to gold. Has never lost a game. Drive right side, heading back on it. AJ Andrews at the track makes the play. That's the second out, and Pendley scampers over to third. I do think that there's an expectation level if you're playing with and for Kat Osterman. She is by far the oldest, most experienced player in this league, and if you're on her team, there's no half-stepping. You know, I think there's a reason why they're 7-0.
But while I was running down to go do something, I was just trying to catch up with her really quickly, and we're just talking about just dealing with different things. And she was saying that her stepdaughter had a game yesterday, and she struck out 5, and she was in tears. It almost had me in tears because she had to miss her first game, but like, I just feel like I've like grown up getting to know Kat, right? We played together back when 2010. Are now both, you know, she's a stepmom, I'm a mom. We're trying to compete and do this Olympic thing. It's pretty cool.
Moultrie gets it past Burroughs, and it allows another run to score. Little dribbler, well placed. Pendley makes it a 5-0 lead for Team Osterman. 31 pitches already thrown by Burroughs, and the lineup now turns over. Victoria Hayward bats for the second time. Hayward walked on 4 pitches to begin the game. Came around to score on the single by Jesse Warren. High drive, deep right field. Andrews goes back. Gone! Another 3-run home run. The second 3-run bomb of the inning. This time it's Victoria Hayward. Oh my goodness. 8-0. 10 batters into the game.
Passing the bat, it is contagious right now, and that's not a horrific spot. I mean, that's the inside part of the plate. Victoria Hayward able to barrel that thing up. triple threat in the leadoff spot. I mean, she can go drop bombs. She can lay down that bunt.
So we don't make it out of the top of the first inning, and we have a pitching change. And Samantha Schau will be the new pitcher. And while we have a moment, let's talk about Kat Osterman and the club that she's put together. Let's take a look at the Carvana draft recap.
I'm really happy with how the draft went. The first 4 rounds pretty much got who I wanted. Needed to fill out the pitching staff a little bit, and thought Kama finished last week strong, and Kelly Barnhill had made some adjustments over the last week, so hopefully those two can pick up some innings. But for the most part, offensively, got what I want. I think it was Ocasio who took Savannah Jaquish when I wanted to, but we jumped in and filled it with a corner with Katiyana Mauga, who also has some power. So I think the combination of speed and power we put together is pretty good.
Wow. Impressive in the circle, impressive with what she does as a quasi coach, and very impressive as she's holding the microphone and telling us what she did on draft day.
Well, and she has yet to be beaten, and if she continues to be doing what she's doing, she will be atop the leaderboard and get to make those types of decisions of who she wants on her team. And we know Svekis has been the #1 pick the last 2 weeks, and the importance of the dynamic of that battery, and she trusts Svekis like no tomorrow.
Samantha Schau comes into the circle to replace Burrows. Schau, listed in the lineup as the #3 hitter, as the DP, is being asked to pitch now and end this first inning. Aubrey Leach. Ball and a strike to her. I do have a bit of good news. It's mild good news, but it's a little bit of good news for Jessica Burrows. The ball that Michelle Moultrie hit was ruled an error on Burrows herself. That means that the inning should have been over, and every run that scored after that was unearned. So there is 8 runs on the board, but only 4 of them are going to go against Burrows. And earned runs allowed are -10. So if all those runs have been earned, it would have been -80-point half inning for Jessica Burrows. Instead, it's only a -40, so she's not buried. Leach singled, stole a base, and scored first time up. Softly to third, backhanded Stewart, and safe at first is Leach. 2 hits in the inning for her.
I know Leach has a lot of speed, but as a defender on the corner, regardless if it's first or third, you have to know that. You have to be in a little bit more to respect the fact that she will slap it.
Jesse Warren bats for the 2nd time in the inning. He broke the ice first time up with an RBI single. That was a laser beam into left field. Stewart, nice play, and that'll do it. Kelly Barnhill in the circle, and Barnhill misses down low, ball 1.
This is a big start for Barnhill. She's yet to start a game. She's come in 2 games, but I think being able to relieve Kat of some innings. And I was down there chit-chatting with Kat a little bit, and she was standing behind watching Kelly Barnhill throw and offering some friendly advice to her on some things. And I think no one better to learn from than Kat, especially if you are struggling, right? Because a lot of times people think it's something mechanics, but it is between the ears 98% of the time. So to be able to have someone like Kat to help you or maybe tweak you in some ways.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Myers had taken the bat off her shoulder. What's new? Very patient, Theresa Myers. 7 walks, 3 hit times she's been hit with a pitch. And the count goes full, 3-2.
Kelly Barnhill, one of the hardest throwers in this league, can pump it anywhere from 65 to 72 miles an hour. Two-seam fastballs, what she can really bring the heat with.
Well, just like Jessica Burrows, Barnhill walks the leadoff batter here in the first inning. Myers saw every pitch and took every one without taking the bat off her shoulder.
One thing I love about Gwen Svekis, out of all the catchers, she's someone that I constantly see go out and communicate with the pitchers. And that's one thing I wish I saw more from, because the battery is so important and it is constantly changing. You have to have someone behind the plate that you 100% trust. And if week to week it's changing, as a pitcher, you're the one that has to take ownership of that and has to, I don't know, whether you give them a flashcard of pitches that you like at this count or this, because the quicker you can get on board with your catcher means the more success you're able to have. And that's why I love this system. Every week it's changing. You get put out of your comfort zone and you have to get better.
One ball, no strikes to Becker. And the troubles continue for Barnhill finding the strike zone. She's thrown 8 pitches, only 2 have been strikes. Team Sanders hasn't swung the bat yet.
When you see that pitch right there is supposed to be a two-seam fastball and it's riding up. So it just shows you she's having a tough time finding a pitch that she's able to locate here for a strike.
Just a little perspective, folks, if you're watching and you see that score 8-0. Athletes Unlimited Softball has a point system that has kind of changed the way that you look at the way the game is played. Yes, it's 8-0, but there still is so much on the line for individual points and an opportunity to pick up different things. There also is ways to score points by winning individual innings. So you win 10 points for an inning. Every single person does, all 14 people in your team. You get 50 for winning the game. So theoretically, you could lose the game and still have more inning wins than the team that actually wins the game.
And that's why I love this, because it makes every single inning really matter. I mean, a lot of teams check out after 8-0, right? Like, oh man, we're up 8-0, we're going to win. We got Cat on our team, it's going to happen. But winning innings means something, and that takes you back to the ABCs of learning the game. Quality for pitchers, focusing one pitch at a time, winning innings. So it's not so much it matters that it's 8-0, but focusing on what you're doing right now.
Samantha Shao, who was originally scheduled to be the DP, had to come in and pitch to get the final out of this top of the first inning. Now batting with runners at first and at second. Barnhill starting to find the strike zone. Two balls and 2 strikes. Shao's got power. Opening weekend, a couple of home runs. She's hitting .333, 8 hits and 24 at bats. Chops it off her body. We'll do it again. Shao finishing up her college experience at Oklahoma State. May have chased ball 3.
I remember when she transferred from Texas A&M to Oklahoma State, that was just such a big deal. But I remember after talking with her, she was like, I finally felt like I could be myself, and I wanted to end my career on my terms, being myself.
Called strike 3. Took a while, but Barnhill finally has the first out of the bottom of the first inning. Barnhill throwing to Gwen Svekis. Defense on the left side is very good with Warren and Pendley. Leach, Mauga right side. Perez, Hayward, and Moultrie in the outfield. Talking about Jesse Warren at third base before the game, I was asking. I said, who do you think is the best defensive third baseman in the world today? And she said, am I not in the equation? I said, okay, who's the second best? So she is a wonderful defensive third baseman, and she knows it. And I agree.
Hey, you better say you're the best if someone asks, right? Like Jesse Warren I mean, I could talk all day about her. She's by far, I think, one of the best players in the world. And I continue to keep saying it, but shocked that she hasn't got a sniff with Team USA. And we're talking about a Tampa girl, went to Florida State.
Won a College World Series. Most
MVP.
outstanding player, yeah.
The list goes on. It's just something doesn't add up.
She's raking now here in the Pro League. Ball and 2 strikes, Sam Fisher. Skips in the dirt. Nice scoop by Speckis. 2-2. Barnhill walked Myers and Becker to begin this inning. Struck out Shao. And now 2-2 to the veteran Fisher. Softly right side. Mauga, the play in front of her goes to second. Heads up play, Mauga to throw it to Pendley, covering the bag. 3-4 on the putout.
And Mauga's been caught a couple times coming way off the base. And I mean, lucky for sure to have Pendley there, obviously knowing she needs to cover. But that was the only play. I don't think Mauga would have had enough time to be able to turn to flip it to Leach.
Here's Amanda Chitister. Chitister 0 for 3 yesterday, drops her batting average to 250. I'm not going to make too much out of this single at bat, but this is an important AB right here. You got Chitister, one of the most feared hitters in the world. You got 2 runners on. You're already down 8-0. It sure would be nice to get a big hit. Pendley, underhand toss. Leach where she's supposed to be. Side retired. Joining us this half inning from the dugout on the first base side is the third baseman for Team Osterman, Jesse Warren. Jesse, how you doing?
Great. How are you guys?
I'd imagine 8-0 lead makes it a little bit more comfortable down there.
Yeah. Our bats came alive. Just, you know, we talked about in the beginning of the game, come out with energy, and that's exactly what we did. So.
It's unusual. You played 1 inning and you've already faced 2 different pitchers. We started with Burroughs and now we have Samantha Shao in the game. Speckis, softly hit off the screen. So Jesse, I want to talk to you. You've been a captain. You've also not been a captain, and now you're playing for Cat Osterman. The pressure of playing as a captain like you were weeks past, is that a thing? Does it make it difficult to play and be a captain at the same time?
Yeah, no, I don't think it was any pressure at all. I'm actually having so much fun, and I was having so much fun with it when I was captain. Obviously, I had Kat on my team when I was the captain, and she helped me a lot from the coaching aspect of it, just because she has a lot more experience than I did on the field. So I kind of left that up to her. We kind of sat down and made the lineups together and talked with Christian because he was our facilitator, and you know, it turned out to be a great weekend for us, and it worked out really well.
Jesse, I was curious because I feel like your opening week is kind of what set the trend for what's expected by teams. So what was kind of a little extra spice you brought into it? If it was something from Florida State, or is there something that you did to kind of get your team to gel together pretty quick?
Yeah, so I kind of introduced GATE, which at Florida State we did, which means give your all to your team every day. And I think it's really important out here. You know, it's a point game now, winning points every inning, so it's going to be a lot of team ball. So just trying to get know our teammates outside of the game and outside of softball, just so we can play better together, because if you know people better outside the field, you're going to have that chemistry on the field as well. So it worked really well, and it was something that I really loved doing at Florida State, every practice and every game, and I introduced it, and I think a lot of people have kind of bought into it, even ones that aren't on my team. So it's been fun, and I love doing little activities before every game with them.
One of the cool things about this league is you get a chance to play against and with some of these great players. You're playing, of course, right now with Katiyana Mauga, who's at the plate. She homered her last time up. What have you noticed with her that maybe you didn't before this league started?
She's a baller, and you know, she works hard and plays hard every single game. And you know, we talk a lot as similar hitters. We both have power on the right side, going up to the plate with a plan on certain pitchers, how certain pitchers pitch us alike, since we are a lot alike as a hitter. And like I said, she can just mash the ball, and it's so fun to watch her play and be able to play with her.
Jesse, take me through. I mean, it's crazy to think with softball back on TV, but we are in the middle of a pandemic, and you guys are in this shield, and it's pretty, you know, you're kind of stuck in this bubble with some pretty cool people. But just talk about that and the good or the bad that you've got from it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, at first coming in,
deep drive, left field. She did it! Back-to-back homers, Katiyana Mauga.
Yeah, so I think coming into myself for the 6 weeks I was here, but I've learned a lot about myself. Just, you know, being, again, finding some things that I like to do, some new things that I like to do, and I've actually took up Fortnite with Tori and Vidalis and Danielle O'Toole. So, atta baby, that's a nice swing. We've been playing literally every night. We play for like 4 hours a night, so it's pretty fun being able to do that. And just being able to get to know some of these girls outside of softball, like I said earlier, is pretty awesome. You know, 55 amazing, talented athletes on the field, but they're awesome people off the field, and I love that about every single one of these girls.
Shelby Pendley, fairly deep to center, stay in the ballpark. Play is made by Jasmine Jackson, out number 2.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You're in this environment with literally some of the best athletes in the world. Are there certain people that you become friends with that you didn't really know, and now you're kind of taken back that, wow, hey, we could get a good friendship out of this?
Yeah, so that Tori Vidalis and Danielle O'Toole were two of them. And then 2 others that I've really enjoyed getting to know is Gwen Speckis and Victoria in center field. So it's been fun, like I said. Vic's been really my saving grace here on the softball field, just kind of calming me down before I pass, even when I'm in the field. We just make that eye contact, and she's been one of my go-tos when I am playing with her, because again, I've got to play with her a lot as well. But yeah, those 4 girls have been my top 4 getting to know, and I've really enjoyed getting to know them as people, like I said, off the field, not just on the softball field. I mean, they're all ballers too as well on the field, and it's been fun playing in this league with everybody.
Jesse, last question. We know you got to get back to the game. We talked last half inning about you and your defensive prowess. Besides yourself, over the years, best defensive third baseman in your mind?
I would have to say Andrea Duran. I love watching her play. I even got to play against her when I was on Pride. When I was on Florida State, we played them in the fall when they were having fall tour with Pride. And she was my coach my rookie year in the league. So just being able to learn from her and her knowledge behind the game, getting to get some tips and stuff. Nice hit, Sammy! Oh, you're gonna run it right up.
What a play, Theresa Myers. Well, we're talking about defense, and we got a great defensive play by Theresa. Hey, Jesse, thank you so much for spending some time with us. She has dipped down to third. But this is all fluid. It goes up and down throughout the course of the play. And at the end of the week, at the end of tomorrow's 2 games, there will be the top 4 point earners. They will be the captains for next week's games. And they will get a chance to pick their teams in a draft on Tuesday evening, which you can catch on Facebook Live. DJ Sanders, rocket shot into the gap in left center, gets past the diving Hayward. Sanders on her way to second. It's going to stop there. Good start to the inning for Team Sanders. The captain picks up 20 points. Well, this is the way things ended on this field earlier today. Bottom of the 7th inning, down by 2 runs. Kaylee Clifton with 2 on, a walk-off 3-run homer.
I mean, so many fields. I have the emotions feeling for O'Toole, who's just distraught, and then you have the emotions of Clifton and how excited, and there she is. They're sitting in the stands watching, but this is why this is one of the best games. Super fast pace, so much emotion, and I love the excitement. One of the coolest things for me was seeing Team Piancastelli run out of the dugout and just like want to dogpile Clifton. Obviously we can't. We know we're in the middle of a pandemic. They're trying to social distance and do everything they can.
Deep drive to right field. Kelsey Stewart sends Andrews all the way back to the wall. That's Moultrie who makes the play. That's out number 1. Sanders picks up an extra 60 feet. So Stewart is retired. Sanders is on at third base. And Jasmine Jackson is next. Inning, look at this. This is incredible. The infield is in all the way around because we're playing for an inning win. Team Osterman scored a single run in the first inning, and now they're trying to keep that lead. And so the infield is in all the way around. In a 9-0 game, you have the infield in with 1 out in the second inning.
Because we all know the importance of points. If you win points, then you move up in that leaderboard, and every single inning, it is worth 10 points.
Wow. Quick 3-pitch at bat. Jackson strikes out against Barnhill, and now the infield can exhale just a little bit and move back a step.
This is just heat on the hands, uncomfortable. Jackson wanted no part.
A.J. Andrews takes a ball. Final thought on that final inning and the homer by Kaylee Clifton. With one swing of the bat, she got 170 points. She got the 40 points for the homer. The team won the inning with the most, and it was a rollover inning, so there's 20 points there. The team got the entire win, so that's 50 points. And because of the walk-off 3-run homer, she was voted by her peers as the MVP1, giving her 60 points. So 170 points in a 2-minute window.
I think that'll be the winner for this inaugural season. That will be tough to beat. 170 points with one swing of the bat.
I like her t-shirt, by the way. Currently 19th on the leaderboard is Clifton, 19 out of 56. One of the neat things about this league is it's not just about what the team is doing, but it's also about what individually what you are doing. And the top 4 players, when it's all said and done, will have all that glory bestowed upon them. Pretty cool to be the top point earner among 56 of the best softball players in the world when it's all said and done.
I mean, bragging rights for days. You'd be pretty proud of that. I mean,
Good bit of hitting right there. A.J. Andrews just serves it into center field. And it's going to be the first run of the game allowed by Barnhill. It's now a 9-1 game.
That's just fastball that's missed a little bit, but I will say the difference. I hate to bring this up, but the difference between the college game and here, in college they've changed that rule for the slappers where they cannot take their slap foot and cross the line. And you look back at Andrews and what some of these slappers are doing is they're able to do it here. And I just think that's an interesting part of the game, because in college you've seen the slappers kind of evaporate a little bit, because when you grow up being a slapper, it's really difficult to just automatically change how you do it because of that rule. So it has made the college game a little bit more challenging, but I love the fact that they're able to go back to their roots and how they normally do it here. You see her front foot that's touching and kind of stepping near that front of the plate, and if you're in college, that's an automatic out.
2 balls and a strike to Theresa Myers. Myers walked, eventually made it to third, but was stranded there in the first inning. Three and one. The walk to Myers in the first inning, her league high 8th. Three-two. That's 8 walks in 8 games for Myers. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner from first will be off. Barnhill has now walked 3.
My only suggestion for Barnhill would be just if you continue to keep playing with fire, sooner or later you're going to get burned. And I think if you're always giving up the free passes, I mean, not through the second inning yet, we've already given up 3 walks. I think you got to sharpen up. You have to be able to hit better spots.
Becker fouls it to the screen. Becker walked back in the first inning.
Gwen Svekis makes me feel good, and I'm up here in the booth. So it just shows what she brings to that dynamic. Like, she goes out, gives Barnhill a tap on the butt, and just says something to her. And I love that in a catcher. I truly do. I think being able to just be that calm presence for pitchers when they're rattled, because most are. I was one of the most rattled in the games and like would wear my emotions on my sleeve, and I really needed someone behind the dish to hold me accountable, but also be the opposite, the gray to my white, or black to my white, excuse me. But she truly, I just love, she's always going out and having a conversation with her pitcher.
Wonderful pitch. Becker couldn't pull the trigger, and the inning is over. So the inning ends up being tied, both Team Osterman and Team Sanders, with a single run apiece. It is a 9-1 score, top of the third inning. Look at that, 8 runs scored in the first inning. Just a dynamic display of offense. In total, 12 batters coming to the plate. Homers by Mauga, a 3-run shot, and also a homer by Hayward, a 3-run homer. 8 runs. Good golly. Softly hit, Mandy Perez challenges Theresa Myers, and Myers up to the task. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the third inning. Quickly, 2 down here in the third inning. Myers catches that ball off the bat. Moultrie, 1 pitch, 1 out. All right, for years, you're never allowed to have a 3-pitch inning, right? If the first 2 batters get out on the first pitch, the next person's not allowed to swing, right? That's just the general rule.
Yeah, the unwritten rule.
Hayward knows, takes it all the way. In your entire life, did you ever see a 3-pitch inning?
I don't think so, no.
You'd remember it.
But I would love it. If I was a pitcher, I would love it.
That'll at least be a 5-pitch inning. Ball and a strike to Hayward. Samantha Shao has settled things down. She came on in relief of Jessica Burrows. Gave up the home run to Mauga an inning ago, but for the most part, she has been solid. Already 60 points today for Hayward. What was your first memory of Victoria Hayward? You guys are both on the Canadian national team.
Yeah, I got to play with her in 2009. That was her first year with Team Canada, which was just after we won the national championship. And I remember just her excitement coming to the University of Washington. She committed to go there.
Half swing results in a base hit. Perfect day continues for Hayward. She's on her way to second, and she'll make it. A hustle double. I think she may have deked Jasmine Jackson. Didn't look like she was going to go full bore to second, but when Jackson let up, she took an extra base.
When you can just appreciate women that play the game hard, and that's what Victoria does right off the bat. I don't even think in her mind she's thinking, oh, I get 20 points if it's a double. She's a competitor, and in that moment, to be able to take that extra base is big for her team. And I think when you're able to expose the defense a little bit, why not? Prove that you can come up and field that cleanly and make that throw.
Leach into center field. Jackson going back, makes the play. Read it beautifully. Side is retired. 2-out double by Hayward does no damage. Kelly Barnhill being herself with that first pitch.
I think she might have hit her leg, and I have done that, and it hurts. But I love that. That couldn't be more true. I mean, who cares what other people think, especially when you're in this environment. Gotta do you.
Now, so she goes from dribbling it to the plate to throwing 66 miles per hour on the outer edge. 1-1. Shao, Fisher, and Chitister to bat here in the bottom of the third.
And Shao wants no part. I mean, I'm going right back there. Both those swings on those pitches, she's been nowhere close. Just take a look at Barnhill's line. 24 points so far, with that one earned run that took away 10.
Barnhill has allowed the leadoff batter to reach each of the first 2 innings. A walk to Myers in the first, a double allowed to Sanders in the second. Hit well but foul. Count remains 2-2. Interesting, going for a new bat. Did something happen to her bat, or is she just deciding she needs something of a different vintage?
She probably felt something happen on the swing.
How long's a good bat last you?
Man, you're talking to someone that hasn't hit in a while.
You did hit, though. You were a good hitter back in the day.
Shoot. I don't know, maybe a year, I would say.
Okay. You can make it through a whole season with one bat.
But what I will say with Team Canada is when you get those bats hot, you don't want to use them. You only want to use them in competition. So sometimes you can keep them longer. I mean, bat testing is so crucial, especially at the international level. So when you get a bat that is hot, if you swing it a ton, it'll go over. So it's like saving all the hotness for just those special ABs.
Third consecutive inning in which Barnhill has allowed the leadoff batter aboard. So a hot bat, you're talking about a bat that's broken in and balls exploding off of it, but
yes.
Not illegal.
Not illegal, but they have this, it's kind of like a little device. You stick your bat in and then it squeezes it and does its, you know, I'm not a guru, I should be, but it does all this technology stuff on it and gives you this specific number, and your bat needs to be within this wheelhouse. And if it's not, if it's too high, they just take it away. And then it's literally like you're in tears. You're like, oh my God, that's my weapon. And you're just taking it away. But yeah, they've been doing bat testing internationally, obviously forever. And then even when I was back at Washington, they had come and do the bat testing as well, which I think is an important piece of the game. I mean, we are 43 feet away from the pitcher to the hitter, and pitchers are throwing pretty hard these days.
Sam Fisher nubs it foul. Athletic play by Amanda Chitister in the on-deck circle. There's Chitty. Ball and 2 strikes. Barnhill has already struck out 3. Fisher stays alive.
And something I really like about this league is they do bat testing every single week. So all these bats are getting tested, because I think that that is a fair part of the game. I mean, if you're swinging a hot bat and someone were to get hurt because of it, that's no bueno. So I think it's important to do that. And obviously with this pandemic, I mean, you're not allowed to share bats. So you have your slot of bats that you have, 3, 4 that you bring, and you want to amp them up and get them ready to go. And that's probably what they do with 3 or 4 bats.
All right, we talked a lot about bats. What about balls? You played obviously at all 3 levels, pro ball, internationally, and collegiately. Is the ball always the same, or are there slight things that are different?
There's obviously slight things that are different. It could be the seams. Like I'd find the Mizuno balls at times playing internationally, and over in Japan, the seams are a little bit different and a little sharper. And they're using the international balls here, which I think is amazing, because there are 20 women that are going to compete in the 2021 Olympics, so they will be using that Mizuno ball. So it is different for pitchers to use that ball than sometimes diamond or stuff like that, what they use in college. So Mizuno all the way.
Strikeout of Fisher is the 4th for Barnhill. Amanda Chitister now bats, runner on at first. Chitister ended the first inning with a bounce out to short. Everyone just waiting for her to bust out. Saw bottom of your screen when she first stepped to the plate. Amanda Chitister is currently 43rd on the points list. This was the player that was taken #1 overall in the very first draft with Athletes Unlimited. Exceedingly respected, and for good reason. Hammered deep down the line, but foul.
And it's almost like every single time she steps up, she's due, right? Like, how should he not have a home run or MVP points? And when you're almost holding your breath, waiting. And it's also understanding that pitchers respect you and they don't want to give you anything too good because they know you are one of those hitters. And she's consistently being drafted up high because people know she's going to let loose sooner than later.
69 miles per hour, too high. 3-2. Shao remains the runner on at first, 1 out. Chopper. It's going to be a really tough play for Warren. And if Warren can't make the play, nobody can. Infield single for Chitister. First and second, 1 out. Fans want to get even closer to the game. Become a member of the Unlimited Club to cast votes for player MVPs and have access to our members-only dugout camera. Learn more about the Unlimited Club by visiting auprosports.com and clicking Join in the upper right of the page. Now Team Sanders with a chance. 2 on, 1 out. DJ Sanders, the captain, flips it foul.
I saw Shao on that last pitch kind of making a hand signal to point to the inside part of the plate for Sanders.
Bid inside, 1-1. An inning win is on the line. Team Osterman didn't score top of this third inning. On the ground to third, Warren gets 1 out there across the diamond, double play! A double play ends the inning courtesy of the maestro over at third, Jesse Warren.
I love that. And it couldn't be more true in the fact that you just, I feel like, learn so much about yourself when you play all these different sports. The emotions of what it's like to play basketball and running track and field. I'm sorry, there's nothing worse than a 400-meter run and the nerves you get at the start of the line, knowing you can't fully sprint that 400-meter, but you got to run fast. And I believe that a lot of these programs, I was fortunate enough to play at the University of Washington under Heather Tarr, and she was very big on recruiting multi-sport athletes because it betters their softball IQ.
Jesse Warren, growing up, not only played softball, but she played volleyball, basketball, track and field, and soccer. And actually, if you ask her, she probably played just as much baseball as she did softball. Foul tipped into the catcher's glove. That is the first out of the inning. Morgan Foley comes in and strikes out Jesse Warren. Let's take you back to last half inning.
And this was just clutch, having our pitchers back, able to understand, hey, if I can step on the bag, I can get Sanders. And just going back to the multi-sport athletes, I feel like at times it's almost unfair to try to tell an 11 or a 12-year-old little girl that she just strictly needs to focus on one sport. Like, I feel like it's so cool to be able to go and play different things, meet new friends. But, you know, real talk, when you get to college, the game, it can eat you alive. You know what I mean? You are on this vigorous schedule. You're trying to figure out school. And if you don't have that outlet, and that's why I loved when I got to college, I felt refreshed because I played basketball and all these other sports. So I don't like how they're putting pressure on these young ladies to just have to choose one at 11 and 12. I don't think that it's fair.
Gwen Svekis getting her first look at Morgan Foley, and this is a different Foley than we've ever seen. She has struck out the first 2 batters here in the 4th inning.
When heat makes people uncomfortable, right? When you throw the ball to upper 60s, that's never fun. You're never like, oh, wow, I love hitting 70. 9.2 innings pitched, 0-2. She has got roughed up at times, but use the fact that you throw almost 70 miles an hour in your back pocket. That should outweigh everything. That should give you extra swagger when you step on the mound all day, because not a lot of people can throw that hard.
Already a fantastic day for Katiyana Mauga. 2 for 2 with 2 homers. 3-run homer in the first inning off of Burrows. Solo shot off of Shao in the second.
And it was about time for Mauga to just have a back-to-back day. Change piece left well over the plate. This thing stood up in the air for days. 224 feet. And then another off-speed drop ball, back-to-back.
This would be something. If Mauga can get a homer here, 3 homers and 3 at-bats off of 3 different pitchers.
And just so much bat speed. That's what's always made her so good is, you know, I always like to compare people to Crystal Bustos because I think by far she was one of the best in the game, but it was her bat speed.
Morgan Foley, how you do? Where you been all my life? Comes out of the pen and blows away Warren, Svekis, and Mauga. .30 inning points are on the line here. In the bottom of the 4th, we have had a tie score in the 2nd and in the 3rd. So if Team Sanders can scratch across a run, they will get 30 points for every member of the team. Good start, Kelsey Stewart. Line drive single to left field. That's the 4th consecutive inning in which someone from Team Sanders has been aboard to lead off the frame.
That's a great piece of hitting. The ball just left up in the zone a little bit. And I mean, for those wondering, in college, Kelly Barnhill was primarily a rise ball pitcher. And I think she's had to find her way a little in this league and bring the ball down in the zone. She throws that 2-seam fastball, so that's what you're going to see the most. Big strikeouts that she's been getting, painting that inside part of the plate. The pitches that she can get 68, 70 miles an hour is a 2-seam fastball. But sometimes she doesn't have the best control over that pitch. And she will also throw something down in the zone with a little bit of drop spin as well as that screwball. And as you know, her being a rise ball pitcher will sprinkle that in every now and then as well.
Jackson caught in the air by Warren. Like a panther. Knew exactly where that ball was going, had no fear, out number 1. Portes and the ESPN app. A.J. Andrews. Foul ball, strike 1. RBI single with 2 outs in the 2nd for A.J. Andrews has been a pro for 6 years now. 5 years National Pro Fast Pitch, both here in Chicago with the Chicago Bandits and also in the rubber city of Akron with the Racers. Good college player at LSU, went to a couple Women's College World Series, freshman and senior year, 2012 and 2015. That'll stay in the infield. Pendley, sunglasses on, makes the squeeze, 2 down.
I like it, Barnhill settling in, getting some quick outs. I mean, if you're not comfortable with an 8-run lead, I don't know what'll make you comfortable, because should allow for you to have a big deep breath.
Theresa Myers, ever patient, has walked twice. Now 9 walks in 8 games for Myers. The best to ever come out of Petal, Mississippi. Southern part of the state, close to Hattiesburg. Get yourself a good meal there.
Bet you can. And that's that fastball. She's able to just sneak that in underneath. It's great location down in the zone.
Ball and 2 strikes. Barnhill has already struck out 4. Oh,
that hurts.
No way of getting him out of that pitch. Myers is drilled. That's the 4th time this season. 4 times in 8 games she's been hit with a pitch. Tough way to get 10 points.
Well, she's towed up on the line too, and I mean, it always stinks when you hit someone, but if you are that close to the plate, the pitcher still needs to establish the inside part. Yes, can pitchers be better and not drift it where it goes to hit you, but if you are crowded over the plate, you almost at times have to expect that there's a good shot you might get hit. Doesn't feel good though.
Kylan Becker, runners at first and at second. An inning win on the line. And that'll make it to center field. Here comes Stewart around third. She will make it with a slide. And the ball gets away. It hits Myers. She's on her way to third. She's being waved around. And Myers will score standing. Don't look now, but here comes Team Sanders. It's a base hit by Becker driving in the run, and then an error by Pendley to allow another run to score.
Yeah, and it's just one of those little trying to throw it but not having good grip on it, and then wondering if Leach is even kind of paying attention, and those little tiny errors can sometimes lead to really big things. Shelby Pendley cut this ball off right away, and I think that's a smart move because you're not going to get Stewart at home, but has to be a little more accurate with that throw.
Now that's a really important hit for Becker. All the inning points go to Team Sanders, 30 of them. Every single player, all 14 players on the roster get 30 points. Samantha Shaw walked her last time up. Barnhill has thrown 90 pitches. Bottom of the fourth inning. Well, the ace up the sleeve for Team Osterman always will be Kat coming into pitch. So in the last couple of innings, Kat has not even had her cleats on. So I think her arrival is not imminent, but if this game gets closer than it is now, she can always come in. And the way that she's pitched here through the first 3 weeks, she can slam the door better than anyone else in the world today. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And I also believe you got to respect your body too, and she's not her 22-year-old self that could throw every inning, right? She's one of the oldest in the league, and for her to pitch every single day competitively is harder on your body. And I've been in communication with her almost every day, just how are you feeling, how are things going? And today it was, I hope Barnhill can really help me out, because I need a little bit of some time off.
And a nice call received by Barnhill. Borderline pitch is called a strike. Shao strikes out. So down by 6, yet accumulating points, which is the end game here with Athletes Unlimited Softball. Shelby Pendley will lead things off. Pendley, Fagan, and Perez scheduled to bat against Morgan Foley.
I like that screwball coming in at 66 miles an hour, and Foley claims to have 7 pitches, but what I mainly see is her throw that rise ball, locate that screwball, as well as that fastball. But it's her ability to be able to throw the ball hard that makes people uncomfortable, and she's been someone that comes in for 1 inning and does really well, so I want to see her continue to carry that, because usually the second inning out she can struggle a little bit.
Three balls and a strike to Pendley.
I love you can just hear the pop of the mitt even up here in the booth over the airplanes coming in.
Looped into center field, that will get down. Leadoff single for Shelby Pendley here to begin our 5th inning. Well, Shelby Pendley wore a microphone yesterday. Let's listen in all access.
There we go! Yeah, 3-8. Hey, go. Got 1. Yes! Yes, Sammy! It's a lot different. It's really slow. It's not ever true. Sometimes the ball does a zigzag thing. Sometimes it's really slow. It's just different than normal turf that I think any of us have ever played on. My bad, Kati. My bad. Yeah, even if it's a good throw, she's probably safe. Glenn.
I love when players play with joy. Myers catches that little humpback liner off the bat of Sammy Fagan. That's the first out of the 5th inning.
And I love just hearing her talk about the dirt. Usually they've always had that rubber tire type turf. They completely have changed this field. It looks absolutely beautiful. And the players are trying to adjust to that, just that different wood chip type feel. You're just not going to get the true hop you would normally with turf. But that's just like playing on dirt, right? You're never going to get a true hop with dirt. They've played dirt their whole life. It's not something they can't handle, but I loved her just pure honesty with that.
It's really brightened up the infield. When it had the ground up tires as the base, it was a darker surface, and now the wood chips has brightened up quite a bit. And I really like it. I think it pops. Here's Ari Williams. Ari Williams has the distinction of being the only remaining position player without a base hit so far this season. And first 2 pitches are strikes from Morgan Foley. That's amazing. If you're looking at the graphic bottom of your screen a moment ago, Ari Williams is 34th in total points at 34 out of 56, yet she doesn't have a base hit. So she has absolutely no points in the stat variety, but she's been on winning teams. That is foul. Oh, tough break for Ari.
And that just shows you the importance of being on a winning team. It moves you up the leaderboard. And I don't know, whatever you need to do to get on a winning team. I know I've said it, maybe DoorDash or Uber Eats some Starbucks for your captains in the morning, but the importance of being on a team that wins can just put you up there, as well as those winning the inning points. It's 10 for every inning you win, as well as winning a game is 50. So I know the score is 9-3, and some would turn the TV on and be like, oh, this game is over, but it is not even close to being over based on how much every inning truly does mean for these athletes.
I was looking at the leaderboard in between games. We're always handing this wonderful information. And Abby Ramirez, who is 3 for 20 with a bat in her hands, she is 6th on the leaderboard in points. She has been the lucky rabbit's foot everywhere she's been. She's won every single game. She's 8-0 in this competition so far through the first 3 weeks. But like I said, she only has 3 base hits, yet she is 6th on the leaderboard. You play winning softball, you play with good teammates, and you influence winning. And that's the most important thing that you can do here in this league, because of the way the algorithm is set up.
A little bit of luck won't hurt no one.
Good at bat for Williams.
Ninth pitch, the at bat. Williams is making her work, coming in for a pinch hit.
Good job. So there's some stat points for her. That's 10 points for Ari Williams. Was down in the count, 2 strikes, but battles back for the walk.
That would be the only thing that I would say for Foley. It's like you have a 3-2 count and you want to snap that curveball off, and that's the pitch that she threw, but it was in the other batter's box. You just have to be sharper with where you're trying to throw it, because these hitters are too good where they're not going to swing 3 balls off the plate. So it's being precise with, okay, what's the count? What am I trying to do and execute with this curve and do it?
Michelle Moultrie, the batter. Longtime member, Team USA. Bunt laid down. That is a fair ball. And that'll be scored a sacrifice, you would assume. The bunt allows runners to pick up an extra base. So it's now runners at second and third, but with 2 outs.
Just a little sneak attack. Able to deaden this. And she thinks for a second, I think she kind of peeks at it for a second, thinking that it might be foul.
How quick was Chitister to get this ball? The ball was spinning actually on home plate, the back part of home plate. That is in fair territory.
And such good footage.
Very softly hit and perfectly placed. Uh-oh, we've got a pickle situation between third and home. Shelby Pendley is hung out to dry. And Pendley is out number 3. Victoria Hayward looked. Shelby Pendley was caught between third and home. That ended the inning, and because of it, Victoria Hayward, who thought she was going to have a base hit, denied. It's a fielder's choice. 1-5-2. Pitcher to third, and the tag made by the catcher Chitister. Sammy Fisher pops it up. Chitister behind the plate. I'm sorry, that's Spekas behind the plate, and it's out number 1. The Astros signed Steelers, and a lot of it being done against the Dodgers over the years. Here's Chitister. 1 out, bases clear. Singled their last time up.
You see her kind of hump over there and throw that drop ball. She's been working on that pitch to just add to the repertoire of her being primarily up in the zone. Just gives the hitter another look. And that is her screwball, so 65 miles an hour. When you see her amp it up to about 70, that's when she's throwing that 2-seam fastball. When she's about 64, 65 inside, it's that screw.
One out walk to Chitister.
These hitters are definitely, they're making her work. I mean, she's at 101 pitches in the bottom of the 5th inning. Give up 5 hits, couple earned runs. I would just say those walks, too many walks, but she's found a way to eliminate kind of those big innings. It's a little too close, 56-46. Usually there's a pretty big difference between strikes and balls. But it doesn't go without saying that if you throw the ball 70 miles an hour, you should be a boss out there. Like, people are uncomfortable with heat, and you've been able to see some pretty big strikeouts where she's owned the inside part at 70 miles an hour and froze hitters up. And you always got to carry that swagger in your back pocket if you do, because it is rare throwing 70. There are not a lot of pitchers that are able to do it, but that doesn't mean you are not a stud at what you do. Location over everything, but if you throw the heat, you can combine both of those together, location and speed, it'll be pretty darn good.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Sanders. One of the 4 captains this week. Got a chance to help herself. Down 6 runs in the 5th inning. Golfed. It's going to stay in the infield. Leach, 2 down. This has been the best performance by Kelly Barnhill so far in her season. She's gone 4 2/3. Trying to get back to the dugout. Kelsey Stewart takes ball 1.
I think Kat's really worked with her a lot this week. They got those 3 days to practice. The draft was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday were those practice days. So I think Kat's really been able to just sit down and talk with Barnhill just to kind of figure out a little bit, right? And I think obviously the experience Kat brings to the table is like no one else in this league. I mean, she's trying to go to her 3rd Olympics. She's won a gold, silver medal. I'm going to listen to what she has to say. And just use that to your advantage, and it looks like Barnhill's really settling in.
So if Barnhill is with Kat Osterman 1 week, Kat will talk to her and maybe whisper things in her ear. But next week, if they're not on the same team, is that just verboten? There's no conversation between players from one side and the other?
I believe that continuing to grow the game and wanting to pitchers to have success is important. You know, like, just even me walking by and seeing Hennigan in the pen, like, I just felt like I had to say something to her, because you want pitching to be successful and you want the pitchers to do well. So I think if there was a small adjustment that needed to be made and they were on different teams, like Kat's a competitor and wants to win, but at the end of the day, I think being able to help someone out helps you with the softball gods, gives you a little positive karma. I'm all about that.
3-2 to Stewart, tied her up inside. Kelly Barnhill, how do you do?
I don't know if Danielle can hear me, but I'm really upset that I'm not going to be able to talk to her. These balls are playing a lot different than they were yesterday. So much different. Yeah, wait. I'm going to try and push it. Hey, I'm going to try and push a triple. Come see you.
I love it. She's not one of my favorites because she wants to talk to me. She's always been one of my favorites. But, I mean, watching her at Florida State, I became one of the biggest fans of her. Most importantly because she plays this game so hard and she just exudes that confidence in every single possible way with a little bit of swagger. And I love that. And I love the fact that she can play that way, not care what people think or judge her based on that. This game is so hard and these women dedicate their lives to it. And that's another reason why I love this league, is because they can, you know, I've said it week in and week out, but they can unapologetically be themselves. And if you're a stud and you put the results up, no one can say anything. At the end of the day, if you're the top of the leaderboard, hey, beat me. Can you beat me? Because if you can't, then I'm better than you, it says on the leaderboard, right? And I just love that part of it. And so, yeah, she's definitely been, even though she beat my Huskies in the national championship final, no one better that will, especially Lonnie Alameda. I love that Lonnie Alameda won her first national championship at Florida State.
Warren in the on deck circle, extended at bat for Aubrey Leach. Ball and 2 strikes. Morgan Foley misses outside. 2-2. Couple of singles, stolen base, runs scored for Leach. She's so quiet with her setup. Nothing moving, and then the pitch comes and she makes her decision quickly. Third inning of work for Foley. Three balls and 2 strikes. Misses high. Leach is aboard for the 3rd time. Fans head over to the auprosports.com and custom merchandise, watch party kits, and pick'em games, and stay connected with Athletes Unlimited year-round by following us on social at auprosports. That's auprosports.com. Here is Warren. She talked earlier about playing multiple sports as a kid. She was one of those players that played baseball before she played softball. Growing up in Tampa, said she actually played with Alex Faedo, who is a big-time prospect in the Detroit Tigers chain. And in case you're wondering, we always talk about uniform numbers. Jessie Warren wears number 30. The inspiration for that is not from the sport of softball or baseball. She wears number 30 because of Steph Curry, the great Golden State Warrior.
I think you need to get her an autograph.
On the ground, foul. Ball and 2 strikes, Jessie Warren. Single, bounced out, and struck out. Her second look at Foley. Hammered in the left. First 2 have reached successfully here in the 6th inning. Stewart took her eye off the ball. Oh, a mistake by Kelsey Stewart. She was clearly looking in the opposite direction when the ball was coming into her glove.
I feel like we've just seen a lot of defensive miscues this game with just little things. And just that little miss advances those runners and puts them in a position, especially for those rollover innings. I know we talk about the importance of winning every inning, and we have the rollover innings from the 5th. So, I mean, this inning is worth 20 points, which everyone will be awarded on the team. See Amanda Chitister behind the plate having a conversation with Foley. And I don't give the catchers enough credit. They are constantly changing and having different pitchers and having to be able to call pitches for them. And we're living in a time now where a pitcher-catcher battery is not used to calling pitches. They're coming from college where the college coaches, pitching coaches call it. So it's different for them to get back on that level with the softball IQ it takes to call a legit game. It can be hard.
We're going to have a pinch hitter here. This is Jordan Roberts, young backup catcher, just finished up at Florida last spring. She's got tremendous power. We've already seen that. Homered in her first at bat, first weekend of Athletes Unlimited play. She's got a hitter's count, 2-0. Golfed into center field, hit well, racing back. Jackson makes the play on the warning track. Leach scores easily. Warren moves over to third. It is a long out number 1, sacrifice fly and an RBI. 10 points for Jordan Roberts. That's a classy move by Kat Osterman. Gwen Svekis is, of course, the #1 pick for her every week. They love playing with each other. But Kat, sensing it was an opportunity to get Roberts in a bat in a game where something was actually on the line, and Roberts comes through. So it's a growth opportunity for Jordan Roberts.
Or do you think she just doesn't want Gwen to get any points because she might be a captain and then she won't be able to take her in the draft?
Katiyana Mauga, already 2 homers. 3-run shot in the first off of Burrows. Solo shot in the second off of Shao. AstroTurf Offensive Player of the Game. 2 homers will do it for you.
Sure will. A lot of pop off this bat speed like I haven't seen in a long time. Bring on the fireworks. That one was 224 feet, and then she hit another changeup off Samantha Shao. This one a little bit longer, 234 feet.
You mentioned royalty when you were describing the power of Mauga earlier. You were talking about Crystal Bustos and that light tower power that she had. Another well hit ball. This one is going to be a single. It'll score a run. Warren crosses home plate with the 11th run for Team Osterman. It is a 5 RBI day for Mauga.
Just
100 points.
Exactly. I mean, still some game left, but she's a solid MVP 1 for me. There's 3 that can be voted.
Shelby Pendley, little flare into no man's land. Lands in that Bermuda Triangle, and it'll be a base hit for Pendley, her 3rd of the ball game. And it's runners at first and at second, still just 1 out.
Just going off those MVP votes, when this game is done, all of the players in this game vote on MVP. Doesn't necessarily have to be someone on the winning team. Could be on the losing team if they had great defensive plays, or if they were a 4-for-4 day, something. You can also vote for yourself, which I just found out.
Sammy Fagan swings at the first pitch. Medium deep center field. Jackson makes the play. Everyone has to stay on their bases. 2 down. Maybe Foley running out of gas a little bit. She struck out the side in the 4th, danced out of trouble in the 5th, and this has been a busy 6th inning. A lot of traffic behind her. 1 more out to get. It's Ari Williams, who walked her last time up. Still the only player in the league without a base hit this season. Former Big West Player of the Year, playing at Cal State Fullerton. had signed and was going to play this summer in National Pro Fast Pitch for the California commotion before that league had to suspend operations because of the pandemic. Maybe poor word choice. Before that league had to suspend their season, postpone their season. Mauga at second, Pendley at first. That hit her bat. Fair ball. Who's going to win the race to first? And it's Theresa Myers who wins the race, and the side is retired. Welcome back, everyone. It's the bottom of the 6th inning. 11-3 is our score. Team Osterman on top of Team Sanders. It'll be Jasmine Jackson, the scheduled batter, but she's going to be called back. Emily Crane will hit for her. And joining us now, Samantha Shaw. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. Sam, how's life in the third base dugout?
It's good. I'm a little scared right now. There's a lefty batter up, and I am exposed. Whew. But I'm doing good.
Tell Chitty to protect you. She's
she
standing right
she'll
there.
Protect me.
Yes.
Hey, what have you seen today? This is now the 6th inning pitch by Kelly Barnhill. She's really bringing it. What have you seen in the batter's box against her?
She's mixing it pretty well, going in and out. I've been trying to sit aside, and the side I sit is not what she's going. So, and she's effectively wild right now. She's using her benefit. You know, when you throw hard and you don't really know where it's going, it's kind of scary as a hitter. But yeah.
Sam, take me through last weekend. You were a captain. Just take me through the emotions of that, and then now not being a captain. What do you prefer?
I love the control of the captain and kind of picking the people that you want on your team and figuring out the best ways to use those people to win. Oh, yes! Ah! Sorry.
So Crane is aboard. Good start for Team Sanders here in the 6th.
Yes, Crane, yes! But there was some stress that came behind that, and just trying to figure out like when to pull myself, when to get a pinch hitter in there. I wasn't 100% focused on my game, and it showed completely. So now it's kind of less stress, and I'm playing a little bit more free. I need to play more free. But it's fun either way, and I'm happy to be surrounded by so many great women and learning so much each and every day from the people I'm surrounded by.
Can I ask you about the what's on your thumb? Your left thumb holding the ball. What is that? Anything out of the ordinary?
I have a cut on my thumb, and I tried to put a Band-Aid on it, but I was super sweaty when I was throwing, and so my Band-Aid came off, so they gave me this ridiculous wrap.
Take me through what it's like being a two-way player. You know, you're the only one left. Ocasio had to leave, obviously, and now you can move up the leaderboard quite a bit, but it can also bring you down if you struggle a little bit. Talk about being a two-way player.
Yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way. I absolutely love it. It's definitely been a little bit of a struggle just because I haven't been as successful in the circle, so really relying on my approach in the box and just trying to bounce back as quick as possible for my, oh my gosh, that was amazing, Glenn. Yeah, just it's what I love, and trying to find the balance between the two and using the other pitchers in this league to make myself better. I've even talked to the hitters that I'm facing to figure out what they're looking for with me and try to figure out a way to beat them, which I feel like in my outing today I did a pretty good job with mixing it up and showing them a different Sam Shaw in the circle.
Yeah, you brought up a great point. I think it's really cool that you're talking to players who necessarily aren't on your team just to get a sense for how you can improve. This is, no doubt about it, been a hitters league.
Absolutely.
Do you see that changing in the weeks to come, or is it always going to be a hitters league the way that it's formatted this year?
I think it'll change. The game can change in one swing, you know, or one pitch, and I think the more comfortable we are getting with how things are ran and who's picking us and who's behind the plate and who's, you know, just the people you're around, I think it could change easily. Kelly right now is doing a great job with competing and winning, so it's nice to see that, and but our hitters aren't giving up quite yet.
Sam, I have to ask, you know, coming fresh out of college, graduated last year, and when you're in college, you have people to kind of help you mechanics, right? Like, I think sometimes it's more pitchers in their head than anything, but when you are struggling in the circle, what's your go-to here to try to help you out because you don't have a coach?
I didn't hear that last part. I apologize.
That's all right. Tell Chitty to keep it down.
Let's go.
But no, I'm just saying, when you're trying to make adjustments in the circle, when you came from Oklahoma State, you had some help with the pitching coach, and now it's, you know, you're a little bit more having to hold yourself accountable. How do you make those adjustments?
Really relying on the people catching me. Luckily this week, our P's and C's have come together, and we were already talking about a game plan day one and trying to figure that out. And so I feel super comfortable with this staff, and just trying to keep that in these next 2 weeks, but also understanding like I'm here for a reason and not trying to overthrow and overpower, and just using my heavy ball and attacking hitters early and going right at them.
One more thing, just before we let you go, I'm just curious about the dynamic with constantly having a catcher, and that's changing. How does that affect you in the circle? Do you have to step it up more and a better communication? How does that work?
Yeah, I think just letting them know that I want to go straight at hitters and not mess around too much. And letting them know like what I'm feeling, and not being afraid to shake off, and not being afraid to get what I want to throw, because if you're not 100% invested in your pitch, then it's probably not going to end well.
Amen.
Samantha, thank you so much for your time. I know that your spot in the batting order is coming up, so we're going to let you go.
Cool. Thank you all very much.
Awesome stuff. Samantha Shao is in the hold, as it's called. Theresa Myers, Kylan Becker, and then Shao will hit.
And what I got out of that was just like telling the catcher when I shake, like, this is what I want to go to. And that's the biggest piece of advice a pitcher to a pitcher is, if you don't want to throw something, don't throw it. Whether a pitching coach is calling from the dugout or your catcher's calling it, you're the one that has to take ownership of that pitch, and you're the one that lives in the big spotlight when you have success. And when you're down in the dumps or give up a home run to lose the game, you're the one that has to live with the result of the pitch. So you have to be able to hold yourself accountable and trust your gut. That would be my biggest piece of advice, because I've come across too many pitchers that throw a pitch that someone else tells them to, and they aren't 100% convicted, and they get hurt because of it.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Myers. And again, she is on base successfully without a swing. That's the 4th time she's reached 3 walks and she's been hit. Barnhill has walked 6. Half of those walks have been to Theresa Myers. This is now the 4th time through the order for Barnhill. That is rare. You don't go through the lineup as a pitcher 4 times very often.
Well, I don't think you get away with 6 walks and are still in a game very often.
Becker lifts it to center. Two-handed squeeze Hayward. That's the 2nd out. Jackson has to remain at 2nd. Myers at 1st. And that'll leave it up to Samantha Shao. Spoke with us just a moment ago. Now a bat in her hands.
I have to give a shout out to our selfless camera crew down on the field that are getting these great angles. I'll take them, but I would never be the one to stand next to these hitters. I appreciate you guys for all your hard work in this.
Barnhill has struck out 7. She's walked 6. 135 pitches. She's going to sleep well tonight. Do you remember a pitch total from your playing days? Did you ever get up to 150 pitches, maybe more?
Well, I mean, the 15-inning game I did, but I mean, this is real high for a 7-inning game. If you can try to keep it anywhere between 110 below, this just means she's had to throw a lot of pitches.
To right field, deep, hit well, look it up, it's gone! Hey! Samantha Shaw, a homer. And she's dancing around the bases. Yeah, the good karma happens when you talk to us, I guess, huh?
That's what I was just saying. And this has to feel so good because she's struck out twice looking off a Barnhill, waits on a pitch. Wow, even steps in the bucket a little bit and has some power to just go opposite field. And that has to feel good. Hand up, the excitement. And I'll take a piece of that home run. I feel like up here in the booth, giving her the good juju.
Third homer, RBIs 6, 7, and 8 on the year for Shaw. The lead is 5. And with that 3 spot, that's another inning win for Team Sanders.
Okay.
They're going to do just fine, folks. Even if they don't come back and win this game, Team Sanders has won every inning with the exception of the first. So Team Sanders, as a team, they've got 50 inning wins to just 10 for Team Osterman. So if another inning is not won, it will end with Team Osterman getting 60 points for the inning wins and winning the game, and Team Sanders with 50 points for winning innings. So not that much of a difference. And then, of course, you have to parse together the individual points that players have accumulated throughout the course of the afternoon, but sometimes it's just devastating when one team dominates from the first inning through the 7, winning all the innings and winning the end of the game. But this has been very equally spread apart.
And I think that just shows it doesn't matter necessarily what the score is as much as it does about caring strictly about those innings and focusing on what you can do, because it can be easy to tap out of a game right out of the chute 8-0 in the first inning, and that can be mentally tough. But what I love is that they're fighting for points and they're fighting to scoot up the leaderboard.
Another base hit. Sam Fisher 1 for 4. Beat continues here in the 6th inning, and Kat Osterman wants to make a change. And Kat was trying to go with Barnhill as long as she could, but after 143 pitches, it's apparent that Barnhill, she's done. So Kamalani Dung will replace her and try and end this 6th inning.
Do you understand how superstitious some players are when they don't get the numbers that they normally get? We are a rare breed and we get rattled easily, and something like that can really mess a player up. If I don't get my number, whoo, so I got to have some explanation as to why this one on my back is worth it.
Chitister goes too far, chases the first pitch from Kamalani Dung. Trying to psych herself up. Chitty is 1 for 2, a single in the 3rd inning, and she walked in the 5th.
I really like this change by Kat Osterman. Barnhill over 140 pitches. And what I love about Dung is, yes, she's able to change speeds. I've seen her go up in the zone a little bit. That last pitch was a curveball, really moving away. And she can throw the ball mid-60s, can hit 66 a couple times.
0-2.
And she's a pitcher that I've seen have success against Chitister in the past when she has gone upstairs. And that's one thing in this league with pitchers that I haven't seen a ton of, is just going up with that rise ball, just changing the hitter's eye plane a little bit to utilize something else down in the zone.
A combined 17 runs on 20 hits. Bottom of the 6th inning. Earlier today, a walk-off win for Team Piancastelli. They won 8-7 over Team Reed. A 3-run, 2-out homer by Kaylee Clifton, the bottom of the 7th. An absolute stunner. Chitty chases the pitch down in the dirt, and the side is retired. So we've made it to the 7th inning. The system that Athletes Unlimited has got going, the scoring system, you don't necessarily need to win every game. It's of course nice, but there's other ways to gain points and help your cause and help your teammates' cause.
But it's the pure excitement that gets me more than anything, right? Like, it's almost like she was just a little kid rounding the bases. Struck out looking twice to Kelly Barnhill, and then is able to come up and make the adjustment that 4th time through, drop a massive bomb to right, and just be a giddy little kid running around the bases.
7th inning, 5-run lead for Team Osterman. Moultrie deep to right field. This one is gone. Onto the tarp. Beyond the right field fence for Michelle Moultrie, her first homer. And the beat continues. The long ball has been the theme this Sunday afternoon here in Rosemont.
That could be the fastest home run trot I think I've ever seen. This is great hitting for Moultrie. She's not someone that's going to just drop bombs all the time. But man, what a pretty swing right in her wheelhouse. Turns on this. This is out of here so fast. And she's fired up, and she is just, I would intentionally try to slow down the trot to truly enjoy it, but I think she's just a speedster. Just really wanted to get around the bases.
Victoria Hayward next in line. She would have had a perfect day except for some goofy base running her last time up. Hayward was hitting with runners at 2nd and 3rd and chopped the ball at the plate, and she would have easily beaten it out. But Shelby Pendley at 3rd actually never left and kind of ran herself into an out eventually when some base runners got clogged at 3rd base. That's the first out of the 7th inning. The countdown kicks off our coverage at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. Aubrey Leach, been aboard 3 times. Middle day of our long weekends here in Rosemont. Games always Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Doubleheaders each day. Stewart in time, 2 down. Morgan Foley delivers to Jesse Warren, ball 1. Now this is always an indication of what to expect or what not to expect. Kat Osterman, she is down the first base line as a first base coach, and Kat is not wearing cleats.
She doesn't need to.
You don't think she's any way she's coming in?
I mean, unless things were to get pretty wild real quick. I liked how Kamalani Dunn came into that inning against Chitty, strikes her out. That gives me a little confidence if I'm Kat. It's not like it takes a quick 2 minutes for her to get warm. It takes a little bit, at least an inning. So I think you really just trust Dunn that she can get it done and your defense, and hope that a 6-run lead can hold.
Yeah, Kat Osterman has won every single game that she's been involved with here with Athletes Unlimited. She's a perfect 7-0. The one time she actually didn't play was the first weekend, the game on Saturday. She didn't play, yet her team still won. Hard down the left field line and foul. So she's trying to coach her way to another win, and this one where she doesn't actually have to wear her cleats and get into the game.
And that's one thing that I will say is wearing cleats for the whole game and not playing, there's nothing worse, because wearing cleats, it takes a long time to just get adjusted. It hurts your body. If I don't got to wear them, I'll be wearing my sneaks.
Count remains 2-2 to Jesse Warren. Looking towards the bottom of the 7th, DJ Sanders, Kelsey Stewart, Jasmine Jackson expected to bat against Dung. And the appeal, no swing. Count goes full 3-2. Foley came on in the 4th inning. And she loses her. A 2-out walk to Warren. 3rd time that Warren's been aboard. This has been an odd game for Team Osterman. They scored those 8 runs in the 1st inning, and they haven't flat out won an inning since. Every time they've scored, they've either been tied or bettered by Team Sanders. Now trying to win the 7th inning. They've already scored a run. That came courtesy of the home run by Moultrie. Svekis right behind home plate, 1-1. Svekis has done a lot of winning. She's been with Kat the entire experience here. Every time Kat has won, she's won. Perfect 7-0, trying to make it 8-0. On the ground hard, Sanders underhand toss. Myers where she's supposed to be. Side is retired. That was awesome.
I love it.
That was awesome. That's how our first game ended. How about 2 for 2? How about another 7th inning comeback? It's a tougher, higher hill to climb. Team Sanders down 6. Kamalani Dung, her first full inning of work, came on to replace Barnhill with 2 outs in the 6th. 1 ball, 1 strike to Sanders. Team Sanders lost yesterday against Team Ganscatelli 7-4. Two-one pitch. Good job by Sanders. Just needs to get on base and keep the line moving. Big news for DJ Sanders. She has moved up to 4 digits. Now has 1,000 points, sitting in 4th in the league leaderboard. That's been updated with all the inning wins for her team. So Sanders today has doubled, and she's also picked up inning wins along the way. 3-2. Dung needs to throw a strike. Hammered high and deep to left, no doubt about it. Deep over the fence and left. And the captain, DJ Sanders, not giving up. That's one of the longer homers we've ever seen.
And this is just, whoa. She knew it, drops the bat. And kind of that half ULL style swing that I love. Let's see where it lands. Might have hit a car.
12-7 is our score.
And I think if you're Dung in this case, I mean, wash it, flush it. Don't, who cares? Don't think about it. I mean, it's still 12-7. mean, clearly we're being blasted week 3 with the bombs, already at 17 with 2 more games still tomorrow.
Kelsey Stewart so far today 1 for 3. Those 3 at bats against Kelly Barnhill. Dung got the benefit of the doubt. 1 and 2.
The importance of getting outs is where Kamalani Dung needs to be. I mean, yeah, you gave up a home run, it stinks, but it doesn't matter. It's still 12-7, so you got to focus on just attacking the hitter.
Slapped into left field, that'll get down. It'll split the gap. Hayward has to get it off the fence. Back-to-back extra base hits for Team Sanders to begin our 7th inning. And maybe, just maybe, we're starting to wonder if Kat Osterman is a possibility here in the 7th inning.
Such a pretty swing by Sanders. Love that video footage that we're able to get of just the slow-mo, this spin movement on the pitch.
Homer by Sanders, double by Stewart. Both balls hit very well. This is Jasmine Jackson. Nobody out. High drive, center field. Hayward going back at the track, makes the play. That's an important first out. Stewart advances 60 feet.
That runner on third base does not matter. At the end of the day, you just need to get outs. It doesn't matter if they're long outs at the warning track or if they're ground outs to the infield, but Stewart does not matter. If she scores, it's going to be the same outcome.
Here's A.J. Andrews. Trying to get on base any way possible. One for 3 day for Andrews. Drove in her own with a single in the 2nd inning. Currently 49th out of 56 players in points. Didn't mean to. It's going to be a tough play for Warren. Infield single, Andrews. 3rd hit and 4 batters here in the 7th inning for Team Sanders. Well, looks like Kat is getting ready just in case. Does she have cleats on?
Based on how she's walking on the cement, I would say yes.
Is this a big deal if Kat has to actually throw in the bullpen? Is that taxing on her? Even if she doesn't come into the games, that's still considered to be work and pressure on her body?
Yes. I mean, if you could get a full day off not having to throw underhand, it's a good day. But we also know the importance of winning games. Still, I mean, you got 1 out on the board. I would trust that Dung could get out of this.
Theresa Myers has not been stopped. She has walked 3 times and she's been hit with a pitch. Been aboard 4 times. Andrews takes an extra base. Stolen base, 10 more points for A.J. Andrews. That takes away the possibility of the force out at second and the remote chance of getting a double play. Popped up. Should be out number 2. Pendley. 2 down. When you're in the bullpen, if you're Kat Osterman, how closely are you watching this game? And are you paying attention, saying, well, maybe I don't need to get ready as quickly as possible and save some arm?
100%. If I see that I just got Myers out on an infield pop-up fly, I'm walking back to the dugout. I feel good. The fact that we got 2 outs, and I would have enough trust in Kamalani Dung to be able to get out of this with 2 outs.
Kylan Becker. Up and in. Yeah, only 1 run is scored here in this 7th inning, but it sure seems as if the pressure has been ratcheted up. About 85% that gets done. Walking the tightrope, just trying to get the final 3 outs.
I mean, even a shot by Becker's not putting them back in the ball game yet. It would still put them down behind 2. So remembering that as a pitcher, because I think the game can speed up when you feel pressure, but you have to remember you're still up a lot. Still hitting good spots, able to locate that screwball on the outside part of the plate.
Inning points are on the line. Both sides have scored 1 run here in the 7th inning. That one is going to be right through the middle. 1 run scores, maybe 2. Here comes Andrews, and she scores sliding. And inning points go to Team Sanders again. They've won every single inning with the exception of the first. So they've got 60 inning points. And even if they lose this game, they're going to finish with just as many game points as Team Osterman. Team Osterman with a win and winning the first inning would give them 60 points. Team Sanders has 60 points for the innings that they've won. It's really remarkable. Samantha Shao. She homered her last time up. A 3-run shot to right. Two quick strikes.
I love this. Her last at-bat against Kelly Barnhill, where she struggled the first 3 and was able to make a pretty great adjustment.
Almost to the screen. We've already had 1 stunner on this field today. Team Piancastelli an 8-7 win on a walk-off 3-run homer by Kaylee Clifton. Dung's 1-2.
It's a great foul off by Shao. Coming in at 54 miles an hour. A little off speed.
Three and 2. Oh my.
I'm feeling it up here, Eric. Heart rate's getting elevated.
If Shao can get aboard, the potential tying run will come to the plate. And it's Sam Fisher who's got tons of power. There you go. Ball game's over. Dung finally gets the 21st and final out. Shao strikes out, and that'll do it. Team Osterman continues to roll. They win by a final score of 12-9.